Well, hello everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. My next special guest, my good friend, Mr. Nigel Lynch. He is the writer and creator of Neon Ghost. But before we jump into that, Nigel, how have you been, my friend?
I've been pretty good. Can't complain. Started the Kickstarter and everything is been going kind of smoothly. And I just try to help, keep that momentum going. So I can't complain.
Good, 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 man. Well, I mean, you got this new title, Neon Ghost with Wiseacre going on, and it looks phenomenal. I back anything that you do because I think you're an incredible writer, and then anything Wiseacre is behind is always like the best quality. So anybody that's watching this, Nigel is an amazing writer. Wiseacre is an incredible publisher. They are connected now with Godhood, which is also amazing with Ty. So yeah, it's awesome, man, to have you on the show once again, my friend. Let's jump into your Kickstarter. You cool with that?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull it up and let's just talk through it if you're okay with that.
That's no problem.
All right, here we go, my friend. Let me move it in front of me so I'm not looking to the side. But yeah, can you kind of talk to us a little bit about Neon Ghost?
All right. So Nyongos is the third book I've done in the Diary of Stray Dogs series. So even though it doesn't have the Diary of Stray Dogs moniker attached, it's still a part of that world. She's a character that came about in the Wounded 2, and she was a character that a lot of fans kind of gravitated towards, and they were saying that she was one of the best characters in the story, and they want to know more about her. So it kind of encouraged me to spin out her story a little bit more, and because the way how the world is structured, I can do stories from any point in time because it's a timeline where I can jump around. So I'm not stuck with only going forward. So I kind of pitched the idea to the artist and he kind of loved it. And a lot of people like the character. A lot of people who, like, for instance, I've had artists do some drawing sketches of it, and everyone just kind of loves her. So she's an amazing character in terms of design. She's very much a lot of fun to write because she just has that kind of aggressive attitude, and you're kind of trying to figure out why she like that. So this story now kind of delves into her background and her history and what would have made her the character that you would have seen in Wounded Two. So this is the backstory of that character.
Love it. Yeah, she's kind of a badass, right, Nigel?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty amazing. Yeah, for sure, man. So let's walk through this. Here's the overview, which you kind of already spoke to.
Mhm.
But look at the art, man. The art is fantastic.
Yeah, that's the art is done by Juan Carlos Francisco. He did all the work so far on the Wounded books, and this time the colorist is a guy called Mateus from Brazil, and he kind of just jumped right in and picked up the slack, and his colors are just phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely incredible. The detail is amazing. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, it does have that kind of cyberpunk Blade Runner feel to it. The art does, the aesthetics, the background, the futuristic. It's pretty dope, man. It's pretty awesome, man. Can you kind of talk about the background and how you came up with everything that's going on around her?
Okay, so first, what would have happened would be it's almost like the stage would have been set from the initial books in terms of the world building, the creation of the settings, and that kind of stuff. So this book just kind of builds on that. Some of the stuff that we did in the Wounded, even some of the stuff we kind of did in the COTF books, which is a spin-off series. And with the artist working in the same world, he's just like constantly building on stuff, building on stuff. So when we went into this one, there wasn't a lot of direction from me because we were in this world. This is now the third time, and it would just be a case of putting some stuff in that we either didn't get a chance to put in before, or you know, taking chances on some new stuff. The story is influenced by my love of science fiction, the type of science fiction I kind of like. I like Blade Runner, Elysium, those kind of movies. So it's a mix between the neon feel of something like Blade Runner, but also the grit and dirt of something like Elysium. So that's the backdrop for this story here.
Yeah, yeah, it just looks incredible. Now, will her story take place in the same city, the same environment as Wounded, or will she kind of be in her own environment that is
Uh,
adjacent?
yeah, she's in her own environment that's adjacent, and that was to help kind of build up the universe a little bit. It's something that for those who were kind of astute readers would kind of pick up, well, okay, this is a new city. This is a city called Neo-Shinjuku. So this is a new city, and when it was set in another one, and it's because the the timeline they're set a few years apart, and you want to kind of add some volume to your universe, so you don't kind of want to crowd everything. So it would kind of help sometimes without having the story kind of trip up over its own self. So by setting it in different parts and stuff, it kind of gives me a little bit of freedom, and I know that I'm not going to create an event that I didn't reference in the city because so it helps with plot and not creating plot holes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's incredible. And I'm glad that you're building it out. Without giving too much away, are you creating new characters that can then maybe cross over back into the main storyline within this title of Neon?
Uh yes, I yes I am. So it's a bit tricky. So anytime you're dealing with a sequel, you're kind of governed by what you've done uh, in the other books because you can't create a ripple effect for something that didn't exist. So introducing characters is a bit tricky,
Mhm.
but there are some aspects of in terms of it. There are some surprises that will be in the book because with a prequel, you have to kind of create some kind of suspense or some kind of surprise for the reader because they're going in saying, well, I kind of know what's going to happen, or I know this character, so she doesn't die, or stuff like that. So there is that aspect of it. What you will see, though, is there's a lot of references to the wounded, and there's a lot of references to COTF. So, for instance, the character Douglas St. James from COTF, he's in this book. So
Mm.
that's like a little nod that shows that the two stories are in the same universe. So it kind of instead of coming forward, it kind of goes back and grabs stuff from the history because COTF is set further back in the timeline. So if you
Yeah,
go through, you can see characters and stuff from that universe.
I mean, COTF is so incredible, man. I love that one. Love that one, man. That's awesome, man. So let's talk about some of these characters. So you kind of already mentioned Tala, who is obviously the main character within this book. Can you give us a little bit of insight without, obviously, we don't give too much away about Irina and Madame Zhang?
All right, so I'll just talk a little bit of Tala. So Tala is Gaz's sister. Gaz is the character from The Wounded 2.
Mm,
And the story kind of follows both of them as when they were basically preteens kids in a new city in a new town, kind of lost, and they get met by Madame Zhang, and she kind of befriends them, and she comes off as this character that is kind and pleasant, and it's almost a kind of fairy tale kind of thing, similar to like the witch in Hansel and Gretel kind of thing. So she brings them in and she plays them with food and stuff. But then the story kind of fast forwards and then you realize that they're working in a sweatshop and it actually even escalates to one of the sisters has to go and work on the streets and that kind of thing.
mm,
So it kind of gets dark for these two girls quickly,
yeah.
but it's about them not giving up and trying to fight against the system to get back to one another. And that's it kind of in a nutshell without kind of spoiling.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. And then Irina?
So Irina is a character who she's she comes in the middle of the story and she is almost like a character where Tala meets her, and it helps kind of Tala gain her humanity because she's going down a path where she's becoming an assassin.
Mm.
So so meeting Irina kind of gives her a little bit of hope and changes her mindset a bit. And also like Irina, so like the way how I kind of do stories, I try to do multiple stories within a book so technically Irina is one of the protagonists. She has her own story. Tala has her own story. Gaz has her own story. And we're watching the three stories kind of weave together to form Neongos.
Love it, man. And then Madam Zhang?
So Madame Zhang is one of the antagonists. As I said, she is a person who kind of is in the human trafficking business in terms of all aspects of it, from child labor to street work
Hmm.
and even modern day slavery kind of thing. So she she's a very important character, but she's almost like a symbol of something. So when you kind of read the book, uh, her presence is kind of stamped in this story, and you kind of want to see what happens to her and how she has an effect on Irene. Not Irene, sorry, on Tala.
Tala. Yeah, yeah. That's incredible, man. I love it, bro. I love it. You're so good at character development, Nigel. I love it, man. I learn a
Thanks,
lot,
man.
bro. I learn a lot from you, man.
Thanks
So
a lot.
we get into some of the art, and I assume this is some interiors, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Look at the detail in the interior, man. Especially the graffiti looks incredible, man. That's awesome.
yeah. That's amazing, and a lot of that is from both artists with very little instruction. So I just kind of read the script and kind of set the just give the kind of setting. And the way how I kind of write a script, I kind of give a brief description of the page of what it's getting into, like the feel of it. So I might say, well, this is a meeting in a dark, gloomy back alley. And then I'll give the panel descriptions. And the reason why I kind of do that is because it gives the artist a little bit of freedom that if he needs to deviate, he still has the roadmap at the top of the page to know that this is what needs to happen on this page. But I can kind of switch it up once I have that core element. Maybe if I find a better way to either layer one of these panels or skip a panel. So many times I would send in a say 6 panel page that will come back as a 5 panel page, but it works. Or send in a 4 and it comes back as a 5 and it works. So I like to kind of set up the work that the artist has some freedom to put his spin on it. And then equally with the colorist, this colorist kind of jumped in with little instructions. He just kind of felt, I showed him some of the previous work, what we did, and he just kind of fell straight in. Like, there was a few things maybe like, hey, change this jacket color, or this is supposed to be red or something like that. And that was it. But he just kind of just jumped straight in.
Yeah, I mean the shadows even in this hallway is incredible, man. In this alley, it looks
Yeah,
awesome. Looks awesome. Yeah, he spoiled us with a bunch of interiors here.
yeah.
It looks cool, man.
And then we have a COTF making a guest
Yes.
appearance.
Yes, they're there. I love it, man. Yeah, that looks dope. There we go, man. So let's look at some of these covers, man. So we obviously this is the cover that's on the front of the Kickstarter right here. Who did this
Yeah.
cover for you?
Uh, Juan Carlos did this cover. So he did he did 2 of the covers, and one of the covers we kind of decided we would make it into a poster. So this is the one that we kind of decided would be the main cover and the main marketing tool. So this one, I kind of love this. This kind of gives me that 90s DVD color, DVD cover kind of feel,
For sure.
with the characters inside the characters kind of thing. So I like this one.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I love that, man. Looks awesome. And this one, same artist on this one?
Yeah, same artist on that one.
Yeah, that one's cool too, though. Look at the detail, man. And the city in the background. Cover B. And here we go.
Right. So for this campaign, we're relaunching the Wounded 1 and 2. That's
Mm,
one book. We're
yeah,
calling it Volume 1 because it's really just Shani's story. And we're one book is a small floppy and the other one is like a trade. It was just best to kind of incorporate everything so that those going forward would kind of get the full story of what Shani went through. So that's what we're doing for this campaign. And this is a exclusive Kickstarter cover
oh,
that you probably won't print it again.
yeah. That's awesome, man. That is cool. Yeah, Kickstarter exclusive.
And this piece is a piece that we're going to do for a metal cover, not cover, metal poster. And this would be 11 by 17. And this kind of is almost like a Ghost in the Shell kind of homage, where she's on top of a mech. And there's actually a part in the story that kind of references it. So all the covers that you see, they kind of tie into something
Mm.
inside of the story.
That's cool, man. This looks dope. Looks amazing.
And this is the final cover for now. And this cover was done by Mike Watson. On his show, he did a chat and draw. And I just kind of love the piece so much that I said, I'll just make it into a cover. And the colors were done by one of my closest friends here in Barbados, Matthew Clark, a member of Beyond Publishing. So he did the colors, and Mike Watson did the line art.
That's cool, man. Looks awesome. I can see why you chose that as a cover. That looks incredible, man. Look at the detail
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So the way how kind of some of the pages I'm showing, you would notice that there's not just one kind of setting. So you're kind of even probably wondering, how do you get from this setting to on a yacht to on a mat? So the story kind of really has a lot of different set pieces. The story is 50 pages of complete story, and the story is fully beginning, middle, end. So once you buy the book, you get a full story, um, plus another about 20 pages of bonus art and character bios and almost like a behind the scenes where I kind of just talk about the production of the book and do page breakdowns from sketches to colors to everything. So this is like a really special Kickstarter edition.
That's awesome, man. Looks great. So clean. Ah, and you got some of our buddies over at Wingless, huh?
Yep. So doing this as a we kind of doing a cross promotion. So once you back like the campaign, you also get a free issue of digitally of Justice One and Nightfall. And he's launching a Kickstarter probably the beginning of next month. So you can look out for that. And we will be featured on his campaign. So there will be some sort of free goodies from us in his campaign too. So you can also check that out.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Brian and everybody over there are awesome. So that's cool. And this is also another amazing publisher as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do we got here?
So this is just the line art of a
Line
previous
art.
page. Yeah, just kind of showing you how, sometimes just kind of showing the process, so people can see how we got to where we did and stuff like that. Some people are really interested to see the production of the book, not just the finished part.
Yeah, absolutely. This looks awesome. Looks great. And then a little bit about the entire team here.
Yep, yep, yep.
It's cool,
So
man.
Matthew, editor, some more pages with the line art, kind
Uh,
of showing some of the action that would occur in the book. So it's a very, it's very action packed,
yeah.
um, very
Yeah, all your
dramatic at the
titles,
same
man.
time.
If you love action, man, Nigel does action amazing, man. That looks cool, man. Well, this is awesome, Nigel. I mean, congratulations on another Kickstarter where the goal has been met, but everybody that's listening, you got to know, man, it costs a lot more than $2,000 to put a comic book together. You see the team here. Yeah, I mean, this is high quality stuff here. Congratulations on also receiving the project we love. That's
Thank
always a
you.
cherished item that everyone's trying to grab.
Yeah,
And
that's my first one.
your first one, yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I love it, bro. I love it. Yeah, man, this partnership between you and your team and Wiseacre, man, Beyond and Wiseacre is awesome, man. Beyond Publishing. Yeah, it's incredible, man. Congratulations, Nigel. This looks dope. I'm gonna put
thank you.
everything below. We'll make it super easy for people to be able to follow you because I obviously know all your socials. We got the Kickstarter here. Let's talk a little bit about what you might be doing from a con standpoint. I know, I believe the last time we talked, where you live in Barbados, there was a con there too. Do you come to the lower 48 in the US to do any cons?
I haven't, well, no, I haven't as yet.
Yeah.
Probably in the future.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm kind of dealing with some stuff. So traveling isn't really in my cards, but it was always planned in the future, maybe. And I have to kind of like tie it into a vacation or a holiday or something and just make it into a big trip event. Uh, so we only because of the last couple of years with even with the pandemic and stuff,
Yeah.
that stuff was kind of like not even in the cards.
Yeah.
But in terms of here, any conventions, any chances that we do get to sell books and stuff, we usually add those events. And also things are we're selling stuff through Frederick's site and stuff on Whiteacre. So that's where the partnership really comes in handy. So the plan going forward too would be Frederick would distribute books when he goes to cons in the United States. So if when he starts to get up and rolling with that stuff, I believe he actually did a convention this weekend. So we're starting to get into that. So the books will be at conventions. Uh, so just look out for them as we start to grow and grow, expand. So you will see stuff in Americas
I
in
love
the
it.
convention scene.
Well, I'll make sure we put COTF, we'll put Wounded, and we'll obviously Neon. We'll let everyone know all your titles. We'll put the Wiseacre link down there. So if you want to
Yeah,
pick up on Nigel's past written works, it'll all be available. I think I own everything that you've done, at least through from the first time I met you. Those three titles that you've come out with, I have all of those, and I
thanks,
can
man.
vouch, Nigel, you are an A plus man when it comes to writing and creating. And you've always been so kind to provide feedback to me, which is always helpful, man. So I appreciate you very much, man. But you're an amazing writer, my friend. I love it. The
Thank
universe
you.
that you're creating between all of this is awesome, man. And I'm
Thank
already a
you.
backer, so I can't wait to get this into my hand. I assume is everything pretty much done, or when do you think the Kickstarter will be fulfilled?
So there is kind of the book. The book is when we go in, the books are usually about 95 to 99% done. And you know how it is. Sometimes you think a book is done,
Yeah.
but there's always some little thing that you either got to go and tweak or you got to go and change. So that's the only aspect of the book that we're dealing with. We're doing up a few pages, but I can see the turnaround will be very quick. I don't foresee any problems. There's no production really that we're doing. Uh, Anything that's being produced right now is things like the stickers and the extras, those little things. That's the only thing that we're working on. But when it comes to the books, so the delay would be sending stuff out to the printers to get it proofed. Because one of the things I've kind of learned is make sure to get those proofs because you don't want to print or run and then see a mistake that you just can't live with. So we're going to send them out to get proofs. And that sometimes takes a little bit of time, at least like a 2 week back and forth, especially with me here, because I tend to get the proof sent to me so I could kind of see them and approve the colors, the stuff, the little things that I may quibble with and stuff like that. But so far, I've been very happy with the way how the book looks. And I don't really have any fears on that part of the fulfillment. I think we're good. We're good. And there's no like 3D image, 3D printed stuff or anything. So there's nothing ready to work with. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Books, stickers, posters.
Love it, man. I love it. Well, congratulations on another title, Nigel. I can't wait for what you're working on next. Do you know kind of what the next title will be? Like it will be a continuation of Neon Ghost? Are you going back to Wounded, or can you share that yet?
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of I the way I kind of write. So for instance, nothing right now at this point, nothing has there's no sequels in anything done. Uh, I, but I kind of admire people where so as you talk to them and say, hey, they're on the third book, but they wrote 6 books. I tend to write one book at a time. So as you said, I'm not sure which book I may jump into. I plan to kind of take a little bit of a hiatus, but there were stuff before that was in production. So I just got back the pages for COTF2. So COTF2, the line work is done and the script is done. And with when this Kickstarter is finished, I will kind of make a decision if I would decide to go and finish the if I have another story for, let's say, the Wounded and the Diary Stray Dogs and Shani's story, or do I jump straight into those 2 stories? So I usually go with what what kind of really moves me or what I'm excited about. I've actually had cases where I've written scripts and just dump it because I just wasn't feeling it. If I wasn't happy with it, I just didn't put it out. So I've written like the Wounded 3 about twice, but it just wasn't what I wanted. So for sure, COTF probably will be the next book that will come out because the pages are.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't wait for that because that title is incredible. So yeah, we'll make sure everything is below. Anything that we're missing, Nigel, that we didn't cover?
Um, no, just check out the Kickstarter. When you go on the page, there's a check out the trailer. The trailer was done. Uh, Trailer's an amazing trailer. My guy called his name is I forget it now, but I think he's credited in the Kickstarter. He did an amazing trailer. Or if you reach out to me, I'll take giving him. I think it's Jamal or I can't remember now. I'm really bad with names, but he did an amazing trailer. So trailer is amazing. Covers, working with Mike Watson, working with Wingless, all these people kind of come together and they really kind of made it fun and it was kind of helpful because doing this stuff for yourself, it is very nerve-wracking and very taxing. So, so you're doing a Kickstarter, but you can't wait for it to finish because you just want it to be over. Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
that's it, really.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that one, man. Well, Nigel, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, my friend. You're always welcome. I always enjoy our conversations and I love your writing. So I will make sure everything is below. But thank you, Nigel. I appreciate you, my friend, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, thank you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Talk soon.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.